So listen, months ago, we were on a panel. I may have came on your panel, and I asked you a question. I think the question was, do men need women?
Mm-hmm.
And you said no.
Not at all.
Do you still feel that way?
Yes.
And I disagree.
Why? Why?
I think that men need women because it completes the actual principle that God intended it to be. Now, I
What is
know
that?
you explained to me that you don't want to say, I'm not going to take your words from it, but you had your reasons for not saying it does, because you don't want women or men to think that women are the goal.
They're not even a little bit.
Right. And I agree with that. I do think the men need to be whole before they even seek out the woman. So I don't want to mess that thought up, but I do think women are necessary to complete the whole goal or the purpose of us being here on earth. Those are my thoughts. So the need may not be the correct word, but I think the woman completes it. But not everybody is meant to be married.
I don't think that men need women even a little bit.
You don't?
And as a matter of fact, when I see men that lean on women in order to feel validated, I see an empty hole in them.
Yeah, no, I'm not.
Women can add value. I see inherently how women are dope, and how they are awesome, and how you can use them in order to continue to level up and things like that. But I don't believe that men need women even a little bit.
I think that men need women. No, we're talking
For
about
what will we need them for?
To be complete, and the reason for you being here on earth. You just wasn't generated to be a man here on earth. You have a purpose. And if your purpose was to be married and to procreate, then you need a woman to do it.
I don't think that was what the purpose was, though.
Oh, really?
Think about it. When woman was created, she was an afterthought. She wasn't the initial purpose.
Right. Afterthought. Keep going. Afterthought, because what? Adam didn't have anyone to be
alone.
Just say it again. He did.
But that doesn't mean that we needed them. It just means that they continue. And I say it, women do add value, and they dope, and I think they're awesome and everything like that. But they weren't the initial purpose. There was something that continued to add. They like jewelry in a lot of ways.
No. Well,
that's why we call them trophy wives.
Listen, God did it though. When he did it, he saw
trophy wives.
He saw that Adam was missing something. So he pulled from his rib and said, I'm going to give you this woman because you can have someone for yourself. We can't deny that. I mean,
we already had the whole earth. We had the garden, the domains,
exactly,
animals, everything.
And it was still something missing.
God said, I want you to have complication and dysfunction in your life. So let me put this woman down here so she can go and talk to the serpent and then give you this fruit so that your life can be uncomfortable. And then you have to struggle for the rest of your time on this earth. That's what I seen.
Was it that he put the woman there to show the man where he was lacking in his leadership? How you want to see it?
He was lacking peace.
He was lacking in his leadership.
Every which way, she was always being dysfunctional.
Okay. But I say he was lacking in his leadership because the first thing he said is, that's the woman that you gave me. He didn't take account for it. He just said, that's the woman you gave me. Why didn't he say, God, I know I was wrong, but
because he wasn't necessarily wrong. See, God, listen, God describes himself in a lot of different ways.
Yes.
He described himself as terrible in the Bible in some ways. He's described himself as gracious, right? God is all of these big balls of things all poured into one.
Yes.
So maybe because we don't understand his ways, because his ways are so far from our ways,
you're right.
Maybe he put women on here as a cruel joke.
You could be right. And the other thing too that we didn't mention is that we did gain knowledge of good and evil when we partake from the tree, right? So that changes everything. That changes everything. I agree with you, because when we didn't know that, we really don't know how things really were, right? So the whole idea of it was totally different until somebody went over there and disturbed that tree.
Women largely make us human. They help us to realize the extremes and everything, the extreme good, the extreme bad, and then, you know, that's just a part of the game. So I think that women are dope, right? I think that they ultimately valuable. Do I think that we need women?
Yes.
Nah, I need a woman about as much as I need a Porsche. It's a nice to have.
That's not true.
It's
God,
a nice to have, security boss.
Listen, God told you need it. He wouldn't have taken your whole rib out of you. And gosh, I mean, just the point that he took the rib from you, because he's God. He could just, the dust, the dirt, he could have created it without you. That goes back to becoming one. Come on.
Y'all don't even have your own name. Y'all had to put W-O in front of it. Think about it. Look. Women don't even get, they can't even do their own thing. Everything they do, it comes from us. Look, we got the NBA, and then they're gonna put the W in front of it. Then we're gonna be the WNBA. You know, it's like, no, just let us have our stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know.
So you get what you see. You see what's happening now. See, without women, you know how you would be? Very imbalanced. That's what we gave you.
I don't know.
We gave the world balance, and we give men balanced. And if you find a good one, which is a good thing, he also says that, then
the security boss,
okay,
the world became unbalanced once he created women. Think about it. Everything was perfect.
No, that added to the balance, because everything else had two from Noah. So
that added space.
That was after, but everything else had something that looked like them, except Adam. That added balance.
I don't know, security boss.
Added balance.
Listen, I love my ladies. Do I think that I would be successful? And Rita is the dopest person in the world. Do I think that I would have been successful without Rita? Absolutely, without even a question.
Yes.
Not even without even questioning it. I don't even have to think about it. Yes, I would be absolutely incredible with or without her. Absolutely.
Yeah, but you were more with her.
We don't know that.
It's the real bit work. It's the real bit work.
Security boss.
You're the one who've offered and said that she has gotten you and networked you more deals and got you into doors that you may have not gotten into.
That's true.
That. So
that's true, but we don't know what we don't know what we don't know, because we don't have anything to compare it to. Is all I'm saying.
You said you gave her credit for those things. So if you didn't have those things, you could just say
that. But think about it, security boss. I give her credit because I groomed her to be that way.
I agree.
It's all because of me, ultimately.
But she
listen, and this is the beauty of being a benevolent dictator.
Okay.
All the losses is mine.
Right.
All of the wins are mine.
Ours.
It's mine. I groomed her to be exactly who it is that she is, so that she can go in these rooms and she can use her femininity and her talents. I made sure that those talents were accentuated, and I taught her how to move in a room full of snakes and what to look out for, and how it is that she can leverage what it is that she got in order to continue to bring more back to the table. That's all me. And I say it, and I say this all the time. Think about it.
Wait a minute, though.
Think about it, security boss. I tell people all the time.
Hold on for a minute, though. If you were the man you were going to be prior to her, you were going to be successful, then she had to have those qualities prior to you also. You just have adjusted and adapted them to you. She already had them. So she was going to make some man great.
No,
or contribute to his greatness.
And let me tell you the truth, and I say this all the time, and I say this on these platforms. I tell it to Rita. I say, if y'all would have got Rita, y'all would have ruined her. She would have been just like every other woman that they treat, and they have certain. I'm telling you, security boss. Listen. This is what I know about women for sure.
Okay.
Women will ride to the end of the earth for the guy that they rock with. Think about it. I could have made her what I wanted her to be. She wanted me to take her virginity. She gave me complete domain over her life. I could have made her great, or I could have ruined her. The next guy, any other guy that would have got her, they could have made her great, or they would have ruined her. Either way, she was going to rise and fall based on the man and the covering that she came under. The only reason, the main reason why she's as great as she is because she came under covering. I taught her every single thing that she know. I taught her how to drive.
But that was your covering.
I was the father figure in her life.
But are you saying that she couldn't have come under someone else's covering and been just as successful in marriage as with you?
No.
What?
No.
Anton, God created her to be a wife, whether it was
God created her to be under me.
Your wife. Okay.
Under me.
Well, I'm gonna give you that, but I was gonna be a wife, a good one, no matter what husband I had. And I just adjusted to my husband.
I think your husband, whoever, if you'd have got another husband, he could have ruined you.
Well, I mean, that could be the case too.
Could have ruined you.
Could be, because you know God is in control. I can't say what would have been or could have been, but you could be right about that.
He in control. It's a hierarchy, security boss. Think about it. Listen.
No, I agree.
You can't bypass the husband, right? It's God over man, man over woman, woman over child. Women that try to bypass the man in order to acknowledge God, which you should always acknowledge God, but you got to honor. The only way that you can show that you acknowledge God is by acknowledging your husband. The only way that you can show you love people is by loving the people that God put on this earth. Nobody knows. You don't know a God, right? You have nothing to physically touch. You have nothing to really acknowledge. It's all faith-based. Right. And so the way that you show it, and this is the thing that I always have problems with pastors and stuff, is because they only talk the faith part. The works is the manifestation, right? That shows that you truly believe in what you believe in. And the only way you can do that is through the people and the works that you have with the people that's on this earth. So if you want to show that you really love God, you got to show that you love your husband. It's the only way.
Yeah, that is the only way. I agree with that, because the covenant is with God, but that has nothing to do with the person that I'm saying to you that I'm pretty sure that Rita is willing to do that, whether it would be you or another man that loves God also. Are you saying that she wouldn't have found another man? It wouldn't have been no other man?
They would have ruined her.
Oh.
And then they would have been calling her for the streets.
Wow. Well, I don't know. I'm glad she met you. I'm glad you
think about it. There's plenty of awesome, wholesome. I even have I have so much content. I have an interview from years ago where I interviewed a woman that was literally a 25-year-old virgin. I mean, sweet, has a phenomenal career, has a sweet spirit, all of that. She's not in a position that Rita's in, not even a little bit.
Right.
It's a reason for that.
I see. Okay. I see. But I think that's a good thing, though. I'd rather her be alone than to be destroyed by a bad situation.
I would too. But there's too many women that are the residual effects of what we see happen time and time again. And a man can absolutely destroy you, or they can make you great. They can build you up, or they can tear you down. And I think that Rita is the beneficiary of somebody that has built her up, because I've seen the value in her, and everybody has value, but very few people actually nurture that thing and make it to be something great. I've seen it from the beginning, and I groomed her.
But I disagree on you, Anton. I think you definitely need a woman, Rita, because if you was out here and you see how these women are, if you had a different woman in your life, you wouldn't have got been on the same path as you are now, right?
Not true.
Of course, women, we need men. But of course, I feel like your life would have been different because Rita brings something to your table. You also said on your panel, Rita helps you in many ways, right? She business-wise, family-wise, and everything. Imagine if you didn't have that. Imagine if you had a lazy woman.
Off of how I groomed her.
Correct. You molded her, but not every woman is moldable. Imagine if you didn't have that.
I believe that I can honestly, and Rita is the dopest woman in the world. Don't get me wrong, right? I don't want to take any credit from her whatsoever. That is my baby girl. But let me tell you, and I've said this before, I can take this bottle and I can walk outside and I can throw it in a group and hit a woman and turn that chick's life around and make her what she need to be.
So are you saying that every woman is moldable?
I agree with that.
I think that there's anomalies. Like there's always gonna be extremes, right? But outside of the extremes, yes.
Okay.
But Q, that's what we're supposed to do, though. Women are supposed to adapt. But Anton don't think that Adam needed Eve, so that might be a bad argument.
Eugene.
Yo,
And maybe put in a
if I was, if for whatever reason I was single today, because I think that the myth is that you need that I would have to have a woman. See, if I was single today, I wouldn't be dating. I wouldn't be having sex at all. I'm that disciplined. I'm that focused. I would be 100% dedicated to whatever it is that I'm into, and it wouldn't have any relevance to a woman whatsoever. I don't need a woman to thrive, but I'm definitely going to take advantage of the fact that I have one in order to, utilize it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't need an assistant, but does it make my life much easier? Absolutely.
I get that part. I feel like women contribute to different relationships in a different way, different aspect. And I get that you molded Rita, maybe because I've met Rita in person. And as I said, I wouldn't see a lot of all women being moldable, right? Mm-hmm. I don't think you can go out there and mold everyone to be Rita, because Rita is unique. Rita is her own person, just like
she
security
is. But guess what?
Guess what? You can't duplicate
guess
that.
What, Q? But guess what? Rita could have very much been just like all the rest of these women out here that you were saying that's not moldable if she'd have had ran into the wrong dude before me.
You're definitely right. You're definitely right.
Because let me tell you something that Rita used to say. When I met Rita, she was like, "Oh, I know I'm never getting married. I'm not even interested. It ain't even no thing. Like, it's not." I changed that. She had already made up in her mind that she was going to be single for the rest of her life.
Why?
And she was never going, like, she never even was going to try until she met me. That's just real life.